Hello, my friends. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy on planiest day of the week. Come on in. We're going to make the absolute best pot roast you've ever eaten with your face ever. Ever, ever, ever. Ever. The Mainer's coming out of me right now. Best pot roast ever. Whoops, I can't see my chat. There we go. If you're watching live, comment hashtag pot roast. And then I'll know you're, ooh, I need more sweetener. I must have gone shy of a tablespoon. I need more sweetener than that. If you're watching live, say hashtag pot roast. Hey Faith, hey Kim, hey Cindy. We're gonna make the world's absolute, hey Jackie. We're gonna make the world's absolute most decadent, easiest pot roast. I ain't eating it for breakfast, I'm just making it. So dinner will be ready. I love my crock pot, you guys. I love my crock pot. Problem is, I very rarely remember to put stuff in it, but when I do, like, I love it when dinner time rolls around and I don't have to go, oh, what are we going to do for dinner? Because I already know because it's cooked. It's done. It's waiting for me. We will have this with baked potatoes. And I will likely have it with just green beans to make it an S. So I bought the absolute cheapest roast. It's not very big. It's not very big. It's not even a roast. It's a London broil. Okay. This is what I bought. $17. Well, $16.29 for this thing. It's not even that thick, but we'll get a couple of meals out of it. I've never had that, Susan. My family wouldn't like it. That's why I haven't made it, but I would like to try it. Sounds good. Cajun cream chicken. I used to buy big, like, I don't know what cut, the cheapest cut of beef I could find. And that's what you need for this recipe. Literally the cheapest possible cut of meat. You can do this with pork and it's good. I think it's better with beef, but you can do it with pork. You can do this with chicken. I've never done it with chicken, but you totally could. But I buy the absolute cheapest hunk of beef that I can find, which used to be a good 4 or 5 pounds for like $8 to $10. Every now and then I'd spend like 12 or 15. This is 2.3 pounds and it was $16.29. Meat is insane right now. Insane. But this will give us one meal of leftovers because it shrinks, as it cooks. But all right, I'm gonna show you how to make this. I make it one of two ways. We're gonna leave the hair out. It's all over my sweater. Sometimes I make it in the Dutch oven. And in the Dutch oven, it takes about 3 hours. In the crock pot, I will let it go most of the day. I prefer it in the Dutch oven because I just do. But the reason I'm doing it in my crock pot is because I can put it in now and not think about it. If I forget, like if I'm going to do it in the Dutch oven and it'll all of a sudden be 4 o'clock and I'll be like, I forgot to put the roast in and then we'll have to do something different for dinner. Yeah, I agree. The dock workers strike, that's today or tomorrow, right, Faith? And with everything that's going on in North Carolina and Georgia and Florida, South Carolina, a dock worker strike is literally the last thing this country, oh my gosh. All right, so big old hunk of beef in the crock pot. 1 cup of broth, beef, chicken, doesn't matter. I gotta smell it, make sure it's okay. Been in my fridge. 1 cup of broth, doesn't matter if it's beef or chicken. 1 12-ounce can, or whatever the can size is, of sauce. I don't have the bigger ones. I just have the little, so I'm going to do 2. Plain tomato sauce. That's it. Right here. This stuff. I usually do 1 of the regular size. Whoops, I'm on the wrong side. 1. I usually do 1, I think it's 12 ounce or 14 ounce. Doesn't matter. I'm going to do 2 with this one because it's what I have. I need to try this on chicken. I think this would be really good on chicken. And then you could eat it with like some buttered rice or something. That would be really good. Tomato sauce. And then 1 stick of butter. Now my butter comes in a pound and not a stick. So I'm just gonna put about the equivalent of a stick of butter right on top. That's it. That's the whole recipe. Turn it up. You can put it on low. I'm gonna put it on low because it's gonna cook all day. I'm not gonna stir it. Nothing. That's it. That's the entire recipe. Now the way I came up with this recipe was one day in Maine, I was cooking dinner and I was building a pot roast in my kitchen in Maine. I had my pot on the stove. My Dutch oven was on the stove. And Tilson was yapping about something. He was just doing this about something. I don't even remember what it was, but I can remember it was very distracting for whatever reason because he was going on about something. If he watches this, I'm sorry, Tilson, I still love you. But he was yapping about something. And I grabbed a can of cream of mushroom soup because that was what I always used to cook my roast. And I opened the can of cream of mushroom soup and I poured it into the roast and I went, well, crap. That wasn't cream of mushroom soup. That was tomato sauce. And so I stuck a stick of butter in there like I always do with my roast and left the tomato sauce and hoped for the best. And everybody was like, this is the best roast I've ever eaten in my life. It was so good. And ever since then, it's the only way I'll make roast. 1 big old hunk of the cheapest beef you can find, 1 can of tomato sauce, 1 cup of chicken broth, 1 stick of butter. Plop it in. If you're doing it in the crock pot, turn it on high for 6 hours or so, or low for 8. Best roast ever. Now, if you're cooking this in a Dutch oven, I like to cook it. I don't even touch it. I put it all in there. I don't stir it up. I put it in my Dutch oven. I throw it in about 325 and I cook it until it smells burnt. When all of a sudden I'm going, what smells burnt? I go, the pot roast, and it's perfection every time. The edges of the Dutch oven get really black. The edges of the pot roast start to char. No seasonings at all, Debbie. I'm telling you, this roast will blow your mind. No seasonings, no salt, no nothing. There's salt in the chicken broth. Don't need to sear it first. Nothing. It's really great in a crock pot, but it's phenomenal in a Dutch oven. So it gets kind of that char on the edges, like blackened. The sauce blackens a little bit, not burnt tasting, but just savory. I'm telling you. And the sauce in the bottom, when you take the roast out and you've got the tomato sauce, you just stir it up. I'm telling you, it's divine. So that's it. That's my whole recipe. I'm telling you, it is the world's easiest and it is fantastic. I've even done the same thing on a stovetop with what's it called? Cube steak. You know, like the 10, I don't know what else you would call it. I guess that's what it's called, cube steak. I will put that in a pan with the same stuff and just let it simmer for like an hour. You don't need it, Faith. You don't need it in this. I love onions in my roast too, but you do not need it in this. I'm telling you. No, you can put your onions and potatoes and carrots in there with this if you want, but we're just having baked potato with it. They'll have baked potato. I'll have a can of green beans. It's really good with green beans, but you can totally put carrots and onions and potatoes in there if you want to have with your pot roast. You can totally do that. It would be delicious with the potatoes chopped up. I should do that. I haven't done that. I might do that. I might throw some onions and potatoes in it for the side instead of baking a potato. My family likes big baked russet potatoes. So, all right, you guys, that's it. I'm gonna go. I got work to do. I got stuff for Holy Healthy Holidays to continue working on. If you're not part of Holy Healthy Holidays, you still can join us. I don't cut anybody off because usually 5 or 6 days after we start, somebody goes, man, could I have joined? And I say, yeah, come on in. I'm not going to keep you out of coaching. Why would I do that? It's too amazing. So if you're not part of Holy Healthy Holidays, come on. Come on. Send me a message. I'll get you a link. It's still on my website. You could totally do it with delicata, Dory. I don't have any. I haven't seen any down here yet, but then again, I haven't really been to a farmer's market. There is a farmer's market today. And it is nice out. I could go down and get some delicata, but I might do that. I might do that, Dory. I would like to have some delicata. I did get some apples yesterday, though. See my bowl? I got these ones that everybody was talking about, Cosmic Crisp. I don't think I've ever had these. I think I have had one Cosmic Crisp, but I don't remember what it was. I remember it being good. I don't have a Trader Joe's, Dory. The closest Trader Joe's to me is Charlotte, which I don't want to go to Charlotte. Right now, this area is chaotic. It's inundated with people coming from Western North Carolina, which is understandable. They're coming for supplies and, they're getting out of the area and temporarily relocating over here. And so it's chaos in town. And a lot of the grocery store shelves are very, very empty. Last night I went into one grocery store and there wasn't a piece of produce to be seen. There were some bruised apples. That was about the only thing left on the shelf. Literally, the shelf was empty, and the only meat left on the shelf was pork neck bones and one chorizo and some chitlins. That was it. There's nothing left. I'm sure that's not all the grocery stores. It's just the one I went into. But Charlotte's the closest, and then Asheville, and obviously I won't be going there. So maybe I'll get there at some point. Because, yeah, Trader Joe's usually has it a pretty good price. We do have a farm stand here called Fresh Market Produce that's open, like, good part of the year. And they have local produce. I'm sure they must have some delicata. Sheila, it is the world's simplest pot roast. Big old hunk of beef, okay? Just any kind. I bought the cheapest I could find was a $17 hunk of London broil. I still can't believe London broil is always so cheap. $17, and it's not even that big. I used to be able to buy a roast big enough that we could have it left over for dinner 3 nights in a row. But so a big hunk of the cheapest beef you can find, one cup of any broth, vegetable, chicken, beef, doesn't matter. I use chicken. 1 stick of butter and 1 can of tomato sauce, not like seasoned Italian tomato sauce or anything, plain tomato sauce. That's it. Don't even stir it. Dump it, turn it on, let it go. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much have to take out a mortgage to buy beef. It's crazy. Crazy. I am buying stuff on sale whenever I can. My face itches so bad. I got a new shampoo and conditioner and hairspray and all that stuff, and I think I must be allergic because I am like rashed everywhere. All right, my friends. I'm gonna go figure out what I'm gonna eat for breakfast. I don't know. I think I'm gonna eat some grapes and some chocolate milk. It's like my favorite meal right now, grapes and chocolate milk. So I'm gonna go do that. I hope you all have a great day. Come join me for Holy Healthy. I'll see you back tomorrow for devotions.